Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. How's things sounding out there, folks? Hit that like button as you come in. You know, let me check my sound here. Let's see here, and I can go get me a Craig Weiser. So let's see here. Let me make sure that that's working. I think I'm in the. Alright, so if anybody wants to. Well, let me check my sound first before I get really started here. I got like 8 windows here. So let me push that one down. Let's see here. Where is the actual... Let's see here. Why is that not up here like it's supposed to be? Alright. Well, there's the sound. Okay, I needed to double check that. So, alright, let's see here. Alright, so there's that. Okay. So I needed that screen to go and get my information. Having to reboot this computer when they put all this stuff in, all my old settings are gone. Alright, there we go. Alright, now, for that one sound that men have died on heels on, and the women love to hear. Alrighty, welcome everybody. Welcome to another Porch Life podcast. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast, which means it is 7 o'clock on the left coast, or as they say, the West Coast. It is January 21st. Man, the older you get, time flies. Time just flies. But it is the 21st of January. I'm about to say December. I'm just so used to saying December. It is the 21st. I am off the next 2 days. I've got the. I was able to shut out to the to Ember 17. I was able to get the Pulse 3D headset. I believe that's what it's called for the PlayStation. Go check out that unboxing that I did. You know, because that's the way I roll. You know, I had to butcher the box it was in, but it had all these little bitty bubble wraps on it. And, yeah, I put it on my head this morning just to see what it was going to feel like. And it actually feels pretty good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to Bluetooth it yet because there's just other, you know, there's no, I don't know where to plug it in at. So I am going to go ahead and just use the wired part of it that comes from the DualSense. And but it's a very comfortable headset. It's malleable. It's got a lot of buttons on it, so I do have to read the instructions on it. It's a pain in the you-know-what. So, yeah, I'm going to get that done today, and I am going to be playing on the PS-5, and then I'm going to watch Tenet for the 10th time. Get it, Tenet, 10th time. And then I may throw in, I may get frisky with it and play a little... either Eve Valkyrie or Mass Effect Andromeda or some Madden. I am 2-1 on Madden. If you all saw me playing Madden the first time, getting used to it, I was horrible. But now I understand you got to throw guys open and things like that. So I'm 2-1. I beat San Diego. I used the Bengals. I beat San Diego, and I beat the Eagles. I picked the Eagles quarterback off, Carson Wentz. I picked him off 3 times. Let me tell you the key in this game. You got to get pressure up the middle. But let's get into it. Where are the ponies at? Because I need some explanations. Jemiah Dixon he chickened out talking about, I got to go to bed. You know, what is this? I mean, what are we doing here? But what's going on? Jemiah Dixon's in the chat, I see. I see Nick here. What's happening? I see PlayStation Kings. What is going on? He says we here. You notice how when you come over here, you don't say we're out here because you're not out anywhere. You're inside listening to me. So we're in here. So we're not out nowhere. Period. You know, and I'm still looking for the YouTube gaming streets. I don't know where that is. I mean, somebody can just, I don't know, is it close to Sesame Street? I mean, where am I at here? So what is going on? Umar, what's happening? He just says, yo. Oh, Sick Humor is in the chat. He is either at work or he is up early. What is happening, Sick Humor? So like I said, I am in the Discord. I'm in something called, what's the name of this Discord? I am in the Round Table Discord called Public Conversations. That way everybody can get in. So, and there's something here called Waiting Room. I don't know what that is. So, but shout out to the Round Table for I'm able to use their Discord. I'm leeching off the Round Table's Discord. So, what is going on, Destiny? Good morning, he says. Good morning, good morning. Billy, what you doing, brother? So, Billy says Stir Crazy is a great film. Those two are comedic gold. He also liked Mel Brooks stuff from the 80s. Yeah. Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles. Yeah, Blazing Saddles, you could not make that movie today. It was that good. So, it was crazy. So, somebody says, if you're a Sony pony, giddy up, giddy up. Oh my goodness. So, but what is going on? Yeah, we gotta talk about the tools. I mean, I'm very disappointed in these tools. I hear somebody in the Discord is here to give me an explanation, or else I'm going off. Oh, shout out to Sick Humor. Sick, my man. 50 grand. What's happening, brother? You awake this early? Oh, I see you. Are you trying to platinum that? I saw your trophy list. Yeah. I see you. I see you got to the top of the Giza pyramid. What was that like? Being well, I didn't like the fighting system, but the setting. I love that setting that they were in. Yeah, me too. Me too. Let's see. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, which defeats the purpose. You will have to brawl when you take on those I don't know what they're called. I forget what they're called in Origins and Odyssey. But in in Valhalla, you're murdering a bunch. Yeah, that's what they are. You do have to because they'll have escorts with them, so you ain't gonna have no choice. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Oh, damn. Yeah. Yeah, both of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, if you sign up for you sign up to the Ubisoft thing, right? Because they give you stuff. Like you can check that. You may have just stuff there. Because I put in, yeah, yeah, yeah. I had some stuff. There's a now you're using the guy in Assassin's Creed or the female. Okay, yeah, yeah. He was cool. Yeah. I agree. Mm-hmm. Oh, you say it like that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Because eventually, once you finish the game, you're gonna have to go through the entire map again. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been finishing things as I go.
Hold on. Can we hear sick now? I forgot to turn on desktop audio.
Oh,
I just did. This is my bad. I effed
that's
that
funny.
up.
So all they heard was
All I heard was me talking back to somebody in silence. So hopefully you all can hear it. Put an F in the chat if you can hear sick now.
That is fucking funny.
That was my fault. You can hear him now. Okay, so Sick is trying to platinum the Assassin's Creed games. You went back and did Syndicate, which I thought is an underrated game. Syndicate I feel is underrated. But
Syndicate was a true, what I would feel would be a true Assassin's Creed game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you had the ability to defend yourself, but for the most part, they wanted you to play that game stealth.
Yeah.
And that's really, to me, what Assassin's Creed games were all about, because how are you assassin if everybody can see you when you're killing people? That kind of defeats the purpose of calling it an assassin's game.
Mm.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed playing Origins, and it really wasn't that long of a platinum. I got the platinum in I think it was close to 60 hours. And
Damn.
Everybody was telling me that shit was going to take 100 hours. And I had to think to myself, how are you guys playing this game? Because I've had nothing but time on my hands. So I've literally just been playing all of the games that I probably missed or needed to play, or just kind of cleaning out my backlog a little bit.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like it. Now, you've had the PS-5 for about 90 days, give or take, right?
I've had it for a pretty long time, yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think of it so far?
I think if I had to give it a rating,
Mm-hmm.
I would literally give it maybe an A.
Okay, an A.
I would give it an A, not an A plus,
yeah,
but just an A. The reason why is because it does pretty much everything pretty goddamn well, but I feel like they manufactured work for them to do throughout the generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no reason why this thing should have started and really not have folders. I don't even understand the concept of that. You created a whole new fucking UI,
yeah,
and you took away folders? Does that even make any sense? Yeah. The thing is, they took away folders, but they added a search bar.
Yeah.
So things that you really want to find, you can find them extremely quick, and a lot of people don't say anything about that. I don't have folders. Okay, well, you can put in a couple of letters, and that shit will pull up what you're looking for.
That's true.
I know.
That's true.
Because that's how I found Odyssey in the goddamn dumpster load of fucking games in my library. But again, still, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But it makes sense to me, when you think about it from the perspective of, we need to have something to be able to say, hey, we're giving you something new down the line. Mm-hmm. And that's just going to be one of the things that they do. They're going to add folders. I don't like the fact that they took away the dynamic themes, because it takes away the ability for you to have a custom desktop.
That's true.
But they give you a theme with every game you buy, so to speak. Which is kind of, cool in itself. Yeah. But again, what if I just want to have that cool background? You know what I mean? What if I want to just have that Ghost of Tsushima background where the leaves are just like kind of flying everywhere.
Yeah, that was nice.
I can't do that.
Or that last of us part 2 background where it was daytime. She was in one position, and at night it just switched automatically. Yeah, that was pretty
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, that actually was pretty dope. But what I think kind of the reason why they didn't do it is because it tainted like the system stability.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure because it's running in the background or whatever the case may be. Because I went back to my PS4 and shit. God, that was not a good experience at all. The thing is, back when the PS4 was the only thing to compare it to, it was different because I felt like that shit was moving super fucking fast. But now that I've used the PS5, I'm like, yo, fuck that PS4, bro. Like, just fuck that shit.
Yeah, it is. Shout out to Nick. He asked me if Burrow's going to be back for the season. According to Joe Burrow, he's ahead of schedule. So he's the quarterback for the Bengals who he tore his ACL and I think his PCL. So if your PCL sits behind your ACL, this post. It's like a post pattern in football. You get behind the defense, you look at it like that. So if that's true, then yeah, he should get a training camp if everything is going okay with the Rona, But yeah, so far he's ahead of schedule. He's actually back in Cincinnati doing his rehab now. So he's left the facility he was at. So yeah, there's a lot of people rehabbing ACLs. So Saquon Barkley, OBJ, he's doing his too. So. But yeah, so all right, Sick, you here on the hot seat. So I need to know why Hitman 3 is performing better on PS5. Like it's locked at 60, but with Xbox Series Tools X, it's dropping all over the place. And there's one scene where I don't know if anybody saw this, and I'm going to make a warped attempt to put this on the screen here. So I have to go to, I think, Media. Do I have to go to Media Source? Now, I don't know if Media Source would work. So let's try Media Source. And go to Add a Source. Nope, that's not going to work for this. All right, there's a scene where I think J Dub took it on Twitter, and J Dub took it on Twitter, and it's a guy holding a gun with no gun in his hand on the Series X. I'm sorry. So I mean, it's like they don't have the correct assets loaded, and also the Series X version, it's got frames going all over the place. Paul G. So why is one now? Let me be totally fair here. The Series X is running at native 4K. So my question is this another example of brute forcing 4K at the expense of performance of the game?
Well, here's the thing. Xbox, they know their fan base are fucking dimwits. They know that they're not the brightest bulbs in the goddamn basket. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to Hitman, sure, it runs at native 4K.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 could have ran at native 4K. There's nothing preventing it. They have the same assets. The game looks exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
But they're forcing this resolution. Now, PlayStation could have forced a resolution too. Got native 4K and had terrible fucking performance.
Right.
Why would you make that sacrifice though? Especially in a game where you need to be precise, like with Hitman.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it makes absolutely zero fucking sense. But they've been getting their ass kicked all over the place, so they had to give themselves some advantage, even if they gave themselves a disadvantage. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. At least we can say that it's native 4K. Sure, that bitch dips into 41 frames per second. Sure, why not?
41 frames?
You got 41 frames per second, bruh.
Oh, that's terrible.
Whereas the PS5 is at a pretty much locked 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
So what would you prefer? Let's brute force this native picture, which is going to be upscaled anyway, right?
Uh-huh.
Or we can make sure that the people who actually buy this game on our platform gets a quality experience overall.
Right. Now, is it 1800p locked, or is it 1800p checkerboarded to 4K?
They claimed it's 1800p locked or whatever.
All right, so they
didn't say anything about checkerboarding or anything from what I've seen in the pictures.
Y'all need to get up out of that damn chat room and get yourselves in the gym. Nasty.
Get some who?
Get up in the gym, nasty.
Listen to this nigga.
You know what I mean?
Captain Thug Nasty in the house. What is going on, Captain Thug Nasty?
You hear that? You hear the banging and clanging and
what is that, man? What is that? You got in your sex shop working? What's going on, man?
Playing with some dumbbells.
That's exactly what that was, man.
I know.
This guy gets. Nah, man. I'm gonna have a quick 45-minute workout, man. I'll let y'all guys if y'all still gonna be up in there.
No, she was doing some S&M stuff, man. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Nah, man, I just been working it like crazy, man. Sick. I got that. Started that IT internship, so I got that school and my welding job at night.
Mm-hmm. Nigga.
So that's
playing with fire. Literally,
niggas have not been seeing me. I was able to fuck around and troll a little bit on Twitter yesterday, but besides that, that's about it, man.
I saw that, but what's the explanation here? Why is Xbox getting native 4K and having terrible FPS? And I'm looking at something here. I'm trying to pull it up on the screen like 10 times. Let's see.
Because they're going to these developers and asking them to prioritize resolution. They're wanting their games to look better over. They want to have an advantage over their games. For their games over the PS5 by any fucking means necessary.
Oh.
I mean, but then people don't want to take into account that when PlayStation 5 has the advantage over Xbox marketed games, developers have to go in and downscale the PS5 version in order to keep up parity for the Xbox.
Really?
And I think so. Yeah, I mean, this has been happening. Like it's happened with the Xbox One and the PS4 when the Xbox One and PS4 released. Developers would patch the PS4 versions and magically they would be fucking downscaled. I think the biggest travesty of all was when the PS4 Pro released and Battlefield 1 was patched. Where it dropped the native resolution from 1080p down to 900p, and then it was it was basically the PS4 version. I mean, they didn't change the resolution. They changed the frame rate because the frame rate was locked 60, and wound up going to being fucking 45 FPS.
All right, but look at this. All right. Now, not to interrupt you, Captain Thunder. I figured it out. I went back to my Basic A knowledge because Basic A is one of the first coding languages ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got it up on the screen now. I want everybody to look at this shit. Okay? Why is this game... This guy... I'm talking about the guy right here... They're standing up, not with this kind of facing you on the right-hand side. He's supposed to have a gun in his hand, and he ain't even got no gun. But I'm hearing about these tools. It says 50. What's that 50 up there for? If you got the, you're supposed to have the world's most powerful console.
Frank, I know I've been missing in action, man, but what I put out there in the atmosphere, people need to reach up and grab, my nigga. Those tools those motherfuckers are waiting on, it's a mid-gen refresh.
Oh, you think there's going to be a mid-gen refresh? But why? They got 12 T-flops and 52 CUs.
Bro, why in the hell would Phil Spencer come out and tell people that teraflops are not the be-all, essentially the be-all end? I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
But, it's not what matters when it comes to, the performance of hardware. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
man, we've seen this shit before, man. We're living, this is history repeating itself. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But people will add so much fucking put so much priority and all this faith into, you know, a number, a higher number, a teraflop. They don't even know what a fucking teraflop is. They don't know what it fucking does. You know,
what does it?
It's just, dude. It's just one. It's just one measurement of power. Like in the terms of like, it's a theoretical measurement of fucking power.
Oh, so it's just theory. But what about the guy holding the fake gun?
But Craig, it's a theoretical measurement of power of one aspect of a fucking of one aspect of a GPU.
Right.
You know, that correlates directly with shaders, man. Like people, nigga.
But the shadows, they say the shadows are better on Series X too. I gotta have full disclosure here. So
here's the thing, man. Listen, you know, you've seen the new GPUs released by AMD, right?
I did, yeah. Of course, I'm trying to buy one.
Okay. The RX 6800 XT. That's only 22 teraflops.
Really?
Okay. Yes, it's a 22 teraflop GPU. Now, RTX 3080 is a 30 teraflop GPU.
Mm-hmm.
And these two cards are trading blows. There's a difference of 8 teraflops between the two.
Correct.
Now, the reason why the AMD card is able to keep up with the 3080 and exceed it in certain areas is because its performance with regards to rasterization, which is being able to fill in a pixel. You know, triangles. It's basically rasterization is basically essentially everything that you see on screen. You know, it in how many frames, that's able to push out. I mean, you have to look up rasterization. I can't really fully explain that shit to you.
Oh yeah. I'll talk about it tomorrow.
Because there's a bevy of multiple factors that goes into rasterization.
Mm-hmm.
But these consoles, the PS5 and the Series X, are built extremely fucking different in terms of the hardware level when it comes to the SoC. Alright?
I understand.
That's the thing that is, like, look, PS5 was built for performance. There's still NDAs on the goddamn SoC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
These motherfucking weights is looking at me, and this dude walked in, he's at the bench, man, I'm gonna have to stare at him for a little bit until he gets a ball. So anyway, let me get back to this shit.
Okay. Shout out to Carlos Christmas. Well, I got a $2. I got a super chat here. $2 super chat. Remember the super chat fund? It goes to my 2070 card that I'm trying to put into, that I'm trying to get like next year. So he says Hitman is on. So shout out to the $2 holla. Says Hitman is on PSVR, which is why it's lower res. Well, that's actually a pretty good point. I don't know what the resolution is in VR is though, but. Sure enough, True Virgil says that, you know, we're spreading fading news as Xbox is the world's most powerful console and it runs games better, and that's why you all stormed the Capitol in white face paint and ain't shocking the dang pony. So that's what he says. So,
do they even know the difference between 1800p and 84K?
I mean, 1800. I didn't know if it was 1800p and then going to be checkerboarded. I don't know. So,
bro, 1800p is 3.5K. Dude. Like, congratulations on your 0.5 extra pixels.
Well, I mean, they're going nuts about it. You know, they're telling me it's more of this going to come, and I said, how? I said, if you got terrible. Look, the big jump this generation wasn't resolution; it was frame rate and graphics. So as long as I have ultra graphics and I have locked frame rate, I'm fine. I'm not here to, I don't know why people were making it. You okay, Captain Thug Nasty? Sounds like you hurt yourself back there. But yeah, so,
banging and clanging, bro.
Yeah, banging and clanging. So, but no, I mean, I don't. If you checkerboard it from 1800p and you sit back at like 6 feet, which is proper viewing distance, I can't tell the difference. But between checkerboarded 4K and native 4K. Now, if you get close enough, let me make this clear: the native picture is always better. I'm not here making it.
Cool. How close do you need to be?
You have to be, according to Zaddy. He said he had to get right up on the TV. This is one of the Sony AZ9.
I've seen that. That was in writing.
Yeah.
That was in writing. Like, he literally had to kiss the screen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Just to see it. So, look, man.
My question is, how many of y'all niggas is sitting in y'all house, nose to screen, with little magnifier glasses on your glasses that you already got?
I mean, I don't do that. But again,
no, nobody does that.
Yeah.
They even y'all forget, they tried to make the argument that you can't really tell the difference between 1440p and 4K.
Well, they were saying there was no difference in 900p and 1080p as well. I mean, they're still fighting.
No, but I'm saying,
yeah,
it's a real funny situation, because the only time they highlight these things is if they feel Xbox has an advantage.
Yeah.
Xbox does not have a texture advantage.
That's true.
That's different. If you had low-res textures, right,
yeah.
and you got lower resolution, you have a fucking problem.
No, you're right. I agree. No, I mean, that's what I was looking at. When they said the textures are the same, I'm like, oh, well, then this is going to be the game is going to look the same. And it does. I mean, again, if you're closer to the TV, it will look a little better on the Xbox. But my thing is the performance. Why are these games? Why is PlayStation outperforming on all these games? I mean,
because people don't listen to my song.
They're prioritizing performance.
Exactly. They did not pay fucking attention to Mark Cerny.
Because the resolution,
what developers were saying.
Because the resolution ain't gonna make a fucking difference. Let me tell you. Let's put it this way. How many games have we seen that were native 4K last generation, right? Mm-hmm. But then you have a game like Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War, and they just blow them shits out of the water.
Oh, no, it's true.
And they're not native 4K.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I said this argument is stupid, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It only makes sense to the people hoping and wishing on a prayer that the Xbox has some advantage that they can justify their $500 purchase with. So,
maybe.
I mean, even let's say this. Even if they didn't have the same textures, right? What is the definitive version of this game? Is the definitive version of this game the game where you can play the game, right? And you can just play it flat screen, or you can play it flat screen, or you can choose to play it in VR, which is more immersive.
And have DualSense support.
And have DualSense support. The haptic triggers, the fucking, the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback.
Yeah. With the sound. And if you're a Hitman, you gotta have, so that is the definitive version, yeah.
So I'm sitting up here asking myself, my nigga, you want a Lamborghini with a governor on it?
Yeah,
or do you want a Lamborghini that's completely open?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, because the resolution, you would have to look for the difference.
Yeah, that's true.
The performance, you're going to feel.
You'll feel
the difference.
Yeah. And the sound, and the fact you have a VR capability, so. I mean, that's a legitimate point. I mean, I'm not here to say that that's not true. So I just
that's what I said. This whole conversation is an L. I mean, I literally seen this shit on Twitter, and I was like, "You have got to be fucking kidding me."
Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
I'm like, you all are still fighting, but they're still fighting the 1080p 900p war. I mean, they are. That is 7. Well, hell, they're 13. That's 8 years. That's 8 years ago. Yeah. They're still mad about that.
Since it was 8 years ago, this war, this argument, and this whole narrative matters more to them than games. They care more about Microsoft buying up studios so they can snatch away content.
Which I'm hearing there's going to be some big here in Stadia.
They care more about having. Well, they care more about having the advantage in terms of third-party games running better on the platform, when most of them don't even have an intention to play it. These are not Xbox games. They never were.
Yeah.
They never were, and it's a fucking travesty that they even come off as being Xbox fans. Xbox fans play fucking games. They're the ones out there keeping the multiplayer games alive on that system. They're not on Twitter. They're not telling you how great Xbox is.
Yeah, they don't
They're a bunch of frauds. And considering that the point that, like I said, there's still NDAs on the SoC inside of the PlayStation 5 because why in hell keep NDAs on your hardware when it's already out unless future hardware from AMD is about to put what's inside of your console into the next generation hardware. You see what I'm saying? Into the next generation cards.
I get that.
They still want to keep under wraps, the information away from NVIDIA so they don't know exactly what they have coming. But I'm pretty sure NVIDIA has a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So.
But
I really never understood why the shit that Mark Sony said and what he was preparing us for just got swept underneath the rug. The developers came out and said that it gets swept underneath the rug. But you get Jason Ronald and it becomes the book of gospel.
Well, but the developers always talked about how much easier the PlayStation 5 was to program for, and I just didn't understand how they were going to move the assets around the way they could. But I've said that before until I saw that epic demo, the gameplay demo. I was like, all right, well, whatever Mark Stern was talking
the demo
about.
That people actually had to be told that from Digital Foundry that it was 1440p,
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing in there that I had never seen before as far as the way the game was running, but the way it was running was different. It's kind of hard to say that. There was nothing in there because we've seen people crawl and fly and we've seen the cutscenes and stuff like that. But they were that's still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. So. Just for them to be able to build that, and they said they did it in like 9 months or something like that. It was crazy. So
no, they did. They didn't do that in 9 months. They did that shit in 3.
Oh, 3 months. Okay, yeah, I know. It was some kind of. It was some unknown. I'm like, are you able to just do this? And they were like, yep, you can take pictures and load them into this thing. So they do the same kind of.
What I was saying, right? That when Mark Sony says something like 1 month time to triangle, it gets swept underneath the rug.
That's true.
We'll continue. I'll be back in this in like 40 minutes.
All right, that's cool. It's still on there. That's fine. All right, appreciate you, Captain Thug Nasty. Like I said, he's a wealth of knowledge. Plus, he uses a blowtorch. So what else do you all want? Oh man. So let's see. Did you see this? When you saw where Eurogamer broke down, we're gonna move on here to where Zaddy was talking about the performance on the PlayStation 5 versus the NVIDIA cards. Because you all in the chat see this as well. Because now Captain Thug Nasty was just talking about rasterization, which we won't go into all that. But they are comparing it. Let's see, I'm just trying to get to the good stuff. It says memory uses of RT. I believe that means ray tracing. Which, remember, we were all told that this is an RDNA 1 card, and I've got an RDNA 1 card. It does not do ray tracing, because when I go to my games, it says ray tracing, and it is grayed out. Like, I can't click on it. So I know for a fact RDNA 1 doesn't do ray tracing. But for some reason, the PlayStation is so powerful that it can. But it says here, consoles drop back to standard shadow maps. See, this is for Call of Duty, for all you all that are playing Call of Duty. And I know it's still crashing. Or at least that's what I've been told. It's not as bad, but it still does crash on the Xbox, and it crashes on the PlayStation. So it says, interesting to note that the PS5 seems to possess shadow quality that's in excess of PC's Ultra preset. So, again, I did not think you could go past Ultra on anything, but PlayStation 5 does it for this game. So it also says that the implementation of dynamic resolution scaling. Who was that? Let's see here. Oh, all right. Now, where was I before I was interrupted? It says here that it says this pixel count suggests that this is Eurogamer, suggests native 4K rendering throughout it. They're talking about the PS5 here. And it says, yes, the performance can sustain the 60 FPS targeted as a consequence, hitting 45.6 average across the sequence. This is a sequence that they ran, but it's able to, again, when you all hear me talk about the buffer, I'm glad this is here for you all to see. It's sometimes right here affects buffer.
One more thing, because I know where you're going with this.
Oh, okay.
PlayStation 5 is 10, PS5 is 10.3 T plus.
Well, yeah, I know. But it says here that it says...
Hold on, press an RTX 3070.
Yeah. Yeah, but it says here...
Are you getting where I'm coming from with this?
Yeah, I understand. I'm just reading it.
6800 XT.
Right. Right.
The GPU that I have in my rig is RTX 3080. Yep. It's 70.
How did you get a 3080? Those things are harder to find than Bin Laden.
It was a struggle, man.
Because
I went to Micro Center on random mornings and just sitting in line like everybody else. Just on random days, just on the hope that they would come. I'm like, hey, we got something, man. It didn't go through for me like 2 times. Third try was the charm, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad somebody got one, because, man, those things are like... Now, they said, shout out to Rig Gaming Tech, or Rig Tech Gaming. He has a video out now where they were... I guess the video is they're tackling the problem head on or something like that. But it says here, at the top end, an RTX 3090 delivers an 81.2% boost to performance in this segment at equivalent settings, while the RTX 3070, which this is the card right here I've got my eye on, the 3070. So it says this is just 8.6% faster.
Now keep in mind, Greg, since you watch Red Tech Gaming, you also run the show as well as and many others leaked out the upcoming parts for AMD that are supposed to compete with the RTX 3070 and the 3060s and the 3060 Ti's.
Yeah.
The PS5's GPU is based on Navi 22 Lite.
Really?
What you have now with AMD is Navi 21. That's Big Navi.
Yeah, Big Navi.
PS5's GPU is essentially a continuation with custom architecture inside of it as well.
That makes sense.
From RDNA 3. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is what these motherfuckers been telling you this entire time.
Well, now, I've always been told it had RDNA 3 in it, but they just could not disclose it yet. Now you're starting to see some RDNA 3 information leaks. Well, I can't say leaks. AMD is putting things out selectively about it.
Look. RDNA is essentially like a combination of hardware. The software inside of it is, basically RDNA 2, but the hardware, like the physical silicon and all that shit, that's Navi. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what PS5 is. It's Navi. You look at the GPU inside of it, 256 bucks, the memory bandwidth, the amount of memory, the speeds, the efficiency, how these cards are meant to handle performance, shared access memory, infinity cache, the whole nine. These are it's basically a rendition of Navi.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I got you.
Generation of current generation and next generation. Okay? Mm-hmm. Like the evidence is right there in front of people's faces. Okay? That's the reason why it's so easy for developers to get their games for it. You know why? Because AMD didn't have a problem with developers making the game for their cards.
That's true.
Have you noticed that? They didn't have to wait for tools, but Navi, the granddaddy that's following in these next generation consoles came out, they didn't have to wait for tools. No, they were trained both with the 3080 right off the bat. No tools needed.
Yeah.
PS5.
Right. No, I agree with
you. Taking care of business right off the bat. No tools needed.
That's just there.
We need tools.
Well, so they claim. In these tools. So, I mean, this is sort of like
and on a hardware level, it shares nothing in common with what AMD has on the market in terms of Navi. No Navi family at all. The Xbox Series X GPU it's not even a Navi.
Nah, you're right. Right. Well, it says here, it says an RTX 2070 Super can't match the PS5. It says, in fact, it's 20% slower. So remember, people in the chat, what I was saying to you, you were going to get something closer to a 2070 Super or a 2080 with the PS5. This is one of those games that you're getting closer to a 2080, not a 2080 Ti. I don't want to make sick, because Sick Huber's got a 2080 Ti. Don't, Sick, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you still have your 2080, right? Ti.
Yep.
All right. So what is the percentage of the 2080 Ti versus the 2080? As far as, do you know what the speed differences are?
Nope, never really paid attention to it because I never wanted a 2080.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so this game, because this game right here, guys. This is from Digital Foundry. This confirms what I told you guys. I don't know what, like 4 months ago, in the chat. Whatever I told you, I put it on Twitter. I'm sure somebody's got the what do you kids call it, the receipt. And I also said that the Xbox Series X was going to perform closer to a 2060 on steroids. So it would be close. So the game, this is what you're seeing. Okay, you're seeing better performance on the PS5, and that's not going to change. And you have to remember, it says here now, Captain Thug Masters is talking about the 6800, but it says on AMD side of things that he found, and this is the dude from Digital Foundry that you all love, you know. So it says, I found the 6800 XT's results to be off pace. It has 72 compute units versus 36 inside of PlayStation 5. So again, it's based on the same architecture. This is what Captain Thug Master was just talking about. So, and clock speeds are broadly equivalent. Yet it delivered just 29% of extra performance. Now this right here, this is AMD's baby right now, the 6800 XT. So on Call of Duty, if you're playing it on PS5, you're getting close to 2080 performance. So in the NVIDIA thing. So that just shows you what is underneath the hood. Now I know, and again, let me make this clear. I know most of you all in the chat don't have a PlayStation 5. I get that. So, and this is why I did that poll on if you all wanted me to keep talking about the PS5, because I think the other term you kids use is feel some kind of way, because you may not have one yet. But if you're planning on getting one, this is what you can expect. So. And, of course, it talks about DLSS. I think that means deep learning super sampling. So I think that's what it means. So, but this is something that has really nothing to do with the consoles, this whole line here. But, again, the card I am looking to get is the 2070 Super. That is a pretty damn good card. So, but that's just me. That's just me trying to let my pole butt to the store to get one. But you can't find them anyway because of all the mining. And if you all don't know, I think Bitcoin hit like 36,000. And that's why it's hard for you guys to find, not just you guys, but all of us to find cards. And, you know, we're getting our Biden bucks here in a couple more months. So I want, you know, I'm either going to get the card or I'm going to get that TV. So I don't know. So, but just remember, shout out to the fitted people watching. Hit that like button. Don't be scared. You ain't getting nothing here but the truth.
Oh, they should be terrified, especially if they went out and bought an Xbox.
Yeah. But the 30 cards, I'm even looking at the 3070, you know, so, because I'm like, well, I don't think the 3080, that's overkill. And the 3060 is not enough. I think 3070 is like, you know, the Goldilocks story with Baby Bear. So, for me, for my budget. So other people have come into Anthony Chipmunk. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I just did a thing on Zaddy. He loves that. So, Reader says checkerboarding also, yeah, in many cases. Yeah, the way they can do the resolution now, that's a dead issue. At least for me personally, I'm thinking, yeah, they're not going to talk about resolution anymore. They're going to talk about graphics and frame rate, which is why I'm excited about this generation. And you got people like Sick Humor was just saying, they online talking about resolution. You know, I just don't know what else to say. What's up, Ice Queen? So, So V'gers
I mean,
in the
sometimes
house.
it's by any means necessary, Craig.
Yeah.
You got to try to get a win by any means necessary, man.
Yeah, I came home and saw
This
that.
would be a hollow shell of a win for anybody who considers this to be a win, and for anybody who considers this to be representative of the more powerful console. So you got the more powerful console, you got the same textures, you got what? Slightly better shadows? Is that what?
Yeah, which I didn't even think that was a big deal. I mean, what's the difference in a shadow? I mean, that's like well, you're playing Assassin's Creed, or you're playing on, but you're not playing on PC, right?
Nah,
all right.
On PS5.
All right, so if you're playing it on PC, you can control. I mean, you can control the water, the way the water looks. You can control the clouds. It's like somebody saying, "Well, there's more clouds in the sky." I'm like, so what? You know, that's the differences. So it's just, but yeah, go ahead, Chick. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. You talk about the shadows.
No, you good. I mean, I just look at it for what it is, man. Look, if you want to take this as a W, you can take this as a W, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you already know what the truth is. You know how you really feel about this. You know that this is a hollow shadow of any type of victory that you think that you have. And technically, it ain't even a victory because you don't even have all the modes that this game can be played in.
That's true.
You don't have the immersiveness that the PS5 has.
No, do you have the dual? I'm sorry. Do you have the headset?
What, the PSVR?
No, the headset for I'm sorry. Damn. Yeah, the headset. The Pulse. The Pulses.
Yeah, I got 3 pairs of Pulse 3 headsets.
Okay, so what is that? Because I've not activated mine yet. I've got it hooked in to the Dual Shock because I'm not going to charge it because I'm just not going to charge. I don't have time. I want to get some other stuff done today. So
it lasts a very long time on the charge.
Okay, so what are some of the things that, because you've got other really good headsets. So what are some of the things that I thought you did? Yeah, I mean,
look, I'm not a big headset person, man. I got some Turtle Beach headsets that I used on the PS4, but
you're a sound guy. You're an MC.
Yeah, but that's my studio headsets is totally different.
Okay, so what? All right, so compare it to the studio headset. What are some of the?
They're used for 2 different things.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
I mean, you got one that's used for
compare it to your Turtle Beach
environmental sound.
Yeah.
Whereas I have my studio headsets that they're created, for mixing vocals and things of that nature. I couldn't do that with those Pulse 3. All
right. Well, compared to your Turtle Beaches, then the Sony Pulse 3D headset compared to the Turtle Beaches.
Well, my Turtle Beaches, quality-wise,
are they
the Pulse 3D headset. No, the Pulse 3D headset, it stomps a fucking mud hole in those Turtle Beaches. But they're not the most expensive Turtle Beaches either, so I don't know how they stack up to like $200, $300 pairs.
Okay, then I'm gonna be forced to compare this to my Steel Series when I do my official review tonight.
I think that would be a better comparison because the price range is sort of kind of in the same ballpark. And I don't have those Arctic Steel. I was gonna get them, but then I was like, nah, fuck that.
Well, yeah, I didn't get the Arctic. Yeah, and I should have. They were. I went past GameStop. This is during their, they're having their big sale in December. Those things were only like $59.99. Now they cost like what, $200 or $199? I should have bought them then. What's up, Soul?
$150.
Oh, it's $150.
But you got to keep in mind they have different versions of headsets. So I don't know if the ones that you were trying to get for $150 was the same ones that were like $69.
Well, the ones that were it was
dropping the price that much.
Well, the ones I like wired headsets. I don't like wireless headsets at all. I like the feel of something hanging off of my. That's just what I'm used to.
What?
I like the feel of that wire. I don't know why I just feel more comfortable with it on than off. So I mean that's why I'm not doing wireless. I mean because my Steel Series don't do Bluetooth, but I've got other Bluetooth sets here. But shout out to Mark Camacho. He donated the Platinum, the PlayStation Platinums a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, what's that? Hold on, let me give a special shout out to Soul Provider Speaks. He's in the chat. Let me give a big shout out to him. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Nancy. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's the Arctic 7 Ps. Those are the ones you're looking for. Okay.
No, I'm not looking for them. I don't want them anymore. They cost too much money.
But they're worth it. They're worth it. Like.
All right, so do you have those sets?
I haven't used the pulses yet, but I mean, like, if you look at the reviews for each one of these headsets, like the 7Ps always, I mean, they come out on top in terms of like the best headsets to use for your PS5.
Oh, okay.
And Steel Series, they just make a good quality.
Yeah, I love. That's what I'm on now, and they're top notch. I mean, I got no issue with them, and they sound real good on the PlayStation. So I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Big Cloud in the chat? Huh? Yeah, they are very comfortable. Yeah, and I got the ones that says best gaming headset on PC, and I got them on sale for $39.99 because I'm just that damn good of a shopper. So, I mean, I am. I'm not going to sit there and pay more than I have to. So, that's like shout out to Blaze 4K. He may sell me his 2070 for like $300. But I'm a tough negotiator. I may go down to $250. Like if you want to get rid of it, but nah, I'm not going to do that. I'll pay $400 for the 2070 based on what it can do, because it can do the DSLL, whatever the hell that is. It can do that, and I could do some ray tracing, stuff like that. So, but a link, what's up, brother?
If you're gonna go hard, go home, or you either go hard or go home when it comes to purchasing stuff like that. And that's one of the main reasons why I wasn't in such a rush to go and fucking buy another video card, because I'm like, come on, fam. I just bought this 2080, bro, and now you telling me my 2080 is shit compared to the fucking 3070?
Well, no, that Jensen. I didn't say that, Jensen.
No, I'm not saying you.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but
yeah, because I didn't buy my 2080 from you, Craig. Nah, but I'm just saying. I felt like that was some bullshit, bro. That was bullshit.
That was some real shit. Thank you so much for talking me out of that. You understand?
Yeah.
Like Craig, I kid you not, because when they did the video reveal, Kip had his black stream up. We was in there watching it and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that 3070. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna do a little conservative with my money and everything, and just go for that.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, man. He broke it down. I was like, I got a chance to think about it by the time the stream was over and I had to get to work. I was like, yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, because you would have bought the 3070 and then you would have been like, damn, man, I need to get this 280 now.
Big man, bro.
Well, I mean, again, based on what I just want my PC to do, the 2070 is fine. So, yeah, the 2070 is fine.
Now, I mean, my thing is, I am like the least interested in PC gaming than I've ever been in my fucking life. Not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a big fucking deal to me because, again, certain people on PC only play certain games anyway, bro. So it's like whatever. But I play all games on my fucking on my PS5. So
I'm playing one of those games off of the the PS Store or something like that called Surviving Mars. And my rocket landed with a bunch of moisture evaporators. I'm like, man, how am I gonna get to Mars and already be moist? I mean, this is terrible. And there's no people yet. There's just robots. You gotta control these robots to build a settlement. But it seems like a pretty cool game. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know when my people get there, but the robots are down there, and my settlement it's just moist. I mean, so it's called. It's like I say, I got 15 moisture evaporators. I'm like, what do I need that for? Oh, this is terrible. Oh, but go ahead. Yeah, Jensen ripped everybody off. I mean, he was in that kitchen setting just pulling stuff out of his ass. Like here's the 30.
I wouldn't say that either. You know why I wouldn't say that? I wouldn't say that really, Craig, because you have the choice to buy this stuff, man.
Well, no, that's true. You have the choice.
They're not forcing you to buy this shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the information they give you can be misleading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you gotta go and give away that money.
No, I mean, you're right.
You're not coming and snatching it from out of your pocket, but I get exactly what you're saying.
I just think
because really, the nigga's a con man.
Yeah.
You know how you call Buddy the Canadian con man?
Yeah.
That nigga is the fucking South Korean con man or whatever the fuck it's called.
I thought it it was Vietnamese, but I could be wrong. Shout out to the
Vietnamese
Asian. Shout out to the Asian audience in the Pacific Rim. We're just we you know, hell, they just stormed the Capitol over here. You know, like Beeger, like what's called, told us in the chat. So, but it's yeah. I thought that and again, I just think AMD's doing a better job, you know, with the pricing per performance. So, you know, shout out to anybody who's getting AMD stuff over NVIDIA. But I am trying to get a NVIDIA card, but I want to pay AMD prices. So that's what I'm trying to do. I don't mind NVIDIA stuff, though. What's up, the REC? Shout out to you for being a member. And, yeah, all my members out there, my T-shirts and my pillows and cups are coming. I'm negotiating right now. I'm not going to use the Teespring thing because that idiot gave money to Trump. So that's why I didn't set that up. So,
you know what, Craig? I think a lot of people should really sit back, because I think a lot of the purchases that are made are impulse purchases. And I think if you had time to really sit down and think about it, I think you wouldn't really make the purchases because you feel like you need to. And I feel like all of this stuff where everything is out of stock, it's really just to build demand for said product. So once it does come in stock, it's guaranteed that it's going to sell out because everybody feel like, damn, I can't get one, so now I need to get that. I mean, it's a genius business practice. Definitely a genius business practice. But at the same time, man, like, I think if you really had time to sit back and think about it, you really wouldn't get it. I mean, imagine if people would have waited before they went out and bought the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine if they would have waited. They all would have bought a PlayStation afterwards. No,
I mean, you're right when you talk about when the actual results of things started coming in.
Right, okay. Right. They would have all went and bought a PlayStation 5 instead of settling for an Xbox and waiting for, quote-unquote, tools that are never going to fucking arise. You're always going to be stuck in a compromise. From the way we saw it, the Xbox Series X should have been a no-brainer. It should have been the top dog, the big boss, the console to get, because they screamed 12 T-flops.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Now, realistically, 12 T-flops versus 10.3 T-flops versus 9.2 T-flops that niggas was saying versus the 8 T-flops that they kind of came down to, like, yeah, the PlayStation is just 8 T-flops, nigga, suck it. Right?
Yeah.
At that point, they were rationalizing. They were trying to figure out, how can I feel better about this console? So they kept lowering the number as if they had any technical knowledge, period. It was funny because you would want to listen to the architects about something that they built,
yeah,
versus listening to niggas who have absolutely no tech background whatsoever.
That is true.
Have never done a tech thing in their life, who figure if I read enough shit online, I can then call myself a tech person.
Well,
they have no
true.
idea what capacitors do. They have no idea what NVMe, what the initials of NVMe stand for. They have no fucking idea. They have no idea how games are built.
Yep.
They have absolutely no idea what a teraflop is. We've already surpassed that moment of them talking about fucking T-flops, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have absolutely no idea what it takes to make this shit work. They have no idea what they're going to run into when it comes to the Xbox SDK. They have no idea. If you ask them, hey man, how's that optical drive? They're going to be like, what? Because they have no idea that that's the Ultra 4K Blu-ray, right?
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah.
I mean, they have no idea about any of this stuff. If you told them what's the difference between the speed of something versus the storage of something, they would not be able to tell you the difference between megabits and megabytes. That's the funny fucking part about all of this bullshit. They don't know what CPU stand for. They don't know what GPU stands for. All they know is CPU equals speed and performance, or GPU may equal speed and performance of the video. That's all they know. They have absolutely no idea why these parts are integral. They have no idea what I/O even means. They have absolutely no fucking idea what this is basics. And they have no fucking idea what any of this shit means. This is why I cannot have conversations with stupid people, because they are going to make stupid assumptions and then they're going to write it off as, well, I can say that because that's just my opinion. You have a stupid fucking opinion. Just because you have an opinion don't make your opinion right.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's what people fail to fucking realize. But that's the reason why they're all now sitting around waiting, trying to get a W, because they can't for the life of themselves understand how the fuck the Xbox is losing.
Well, I mean, to me, it's already lost. I mean, it doesn't mean I won't get one, especially if they support mods on the Mass Effect trilogy that's coming out. But because then at that point, I'm like, yeah, I'll eventually end up getting one. But yeah, it just means that no, I agree with that. Austin, what's his name? Austin Isaac, whatever his name was, and I'm just paraphrasing him. And he just said, yeah, if you want to wait a couple of years, they'll have more games out, and you may be able to find the hardware cheaper. Guess what? That's the best advice I can give people when it comes to the Xbox. I mean, just wait a couple of years for the games to come out. So now Link.
But you're talking to people that don't really care about games.
I agree with you. Somebody was just telling me this morning that the only difference between 900p and 1080p was 180 pixels. I just said, you have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you're dumb. I mean, it just, and this is an 8-year-old conversation. So I mean, that's what he said. Those 180 lines made a big difference last generation. I said, what are you talking about?
They don't understand that the horizontal invert. Listen, you
know
what?
They don't.
I'm not even gonna go in detail about it, but it's just the way you see a screen is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when shit got weird is when we started seeing all of these crazy resolutions. To me, that's when I was like, wait, well, how the fuck did you land on this number?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But hey, I mean, when it comes to optimizing your video game, you're going to want to get the best possible performance you can get. Yeah. Because nobody wants their games running like a fucking slideshow.
Yeah.
So if you have to make a compromise with the actual rendered fucking resolution, then you're going to do that. And then, back during the PS4, Xbox One generation, they figured, hey, if I got to make this compromise, then we need to do something to make this look higher than what it is, to make it look better than what it is. That's when we got the temporal reconstruction. That's when we got the checkerboard rendering. That's when we got all of these different techniques that they use to kind of output, the final resolution at a higher output resolution, instead of just having your TV upscale it,
right.
And it's upscaling a bullshit picture. You know what I mean?
Oh no, so, you're right.
So again, when it comes to that's kind of the reason why I kind of don't even indulge in certain conversations. If y'all see, there's a lot of conversations I may make a comment on it, but I won't comment on that comment, because the point is I'm not going to respond to you because you've already said something stupid. If you want to know, just look at all of the fucking. Sometimes I just make troll posts and then I walk away from those troll posts. It's not because I don't want to interact with you. Mm-hmm. It's because you're going to come to me and say something that's so fucking stupid. And again, from the outside, nobody knows who the idiot is.
No, you're right. My dad told me that. He said if a blind man comes up to a park bench and he stumbles upon two men arguing with each other, he won't know the difference on who the fool is and who isn't. So you might as well not even talk to him. Like I said, this morning, I'm like, wait a minute. You don't even understand. I mean, first of all, you're talking about pixel counts, and now you're telling me that the 180 pixels is a bit. What are you talking about?
It's like 600,000 pixels.
Yeah, I know. It's a 33% difference. I mean, it just.
Yeah. But
I don't know. My point is that why are they still fixated on something that happened in? I guess it would be 2013 when the PS4 and the Xbox came out. It was 2013, right? So they're still fixated on trying to have that conversation. That's why.
Because they think that is the reason why PlayStation won.
Oh yeah, I know, they're retarded.
And why
the pixels
went over to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Dude, there's multiple factors as to why people like myself and others left 360 and went to PlayStation. For a lot of minorities, they got tired of the racist bullshit on there on Xbox Live.
Well, I didn't want to pay for. I didn't want to pay for. I didn't want to pay $500.
If you want to take a good look at how America truly is, motherfucking Xbox Live, back in the 360 era.
Well, no, you saw America. You saw America. When they stormed the Capitol. That's
not only that. Even though their games in the first launch year were better than the PS4s, they still sucked. They weren't that good.
I know. You just acquire. You can. Now there's people in the. Hold on, there's people in the
Xbox, but also had an ending on Xbox for a lot of people was the MCC. How in the fuck you gonna fuck up the Master Chief Collection?
I don't know. I'm a Halo guy.
Don't do.
Yeah, that's why I was so disappointed in that Halo Infinite. And King Thrash broke that video down, and I didn't even see like what he saw. Like when he was talking about the things hitting the truck, and the truck didn't even have glass damage, and then the clouds were popping in. Like I was so disappointed in what the game looked like. I didn't even see what he saw. But the people in the chat want to know about the Resident Evil Village demo today. Yes, that is 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and they want to know if we're excited about it. My answer is yes, but it's going to have puzzles in it. But now that the PS-5 got that cheat on there, I can just hit a button and it's going to solve the puzzle for me. Because I am not doing puzzles. I don't care if it's Uncharted 5. You know. So what about you guys? Are you all excited for Resident Evil Village? Again, according to some numbnut, was not even supposed to be able to run on PlayStation.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I am a Resident Evil fucking fan. I cannot wait.
Yeah. So you beat the Resident Evil 2 remake? Because I did.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I beat it. I'm excited.
All right. Did you all have to cheat to do it?
Nope.
No.
How?
No.
How did you get the combinations then? On the
you find them and you find them across the goddamn. You have to look, Greg. There's different notes and different things that literally tell you how to solve these puzzles.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got time to read. It does not say anything on that cartridge about you need to read this. It just, I gotta survive. So, I did though. I like that liquor thing. I killed that thing and I was done. I'm like, all right, well that was it. That was actually pretty cool. Because it had me on the ground. And it allowed me to put something in its mouth, and then when it bit down, it like messed it up. It like blew its head off or something like that. So, there was like 5 different ways to kill it, and it gave me a trophy for one of the most hardest ways to do it. So I'm like, well, I'm done with this. So Resident Evil Village, apparently the demo is today, and Sony has some kind of surprise planned today. Now I don't know if they're going to finally. Yeah, I mean they said other surprises will be unveiled today. So
they having like a state of play or something?
No, I don't think it's a state of play. I think they're just going to have a general announcement. So people are now speculating on what it's going to be. So some people
a whole bunch of shit that they gonna hold Sony accountable for because they thought it up in their mind.
Yeah, I've heard the only one that made sense was a remaster of Resident Evil 4. That actually does make sense because
no, it don't. Because who the fuck would be excited for that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Resident Evil 4 to me was okay. I prefer Resident Evil 5 because it answered all the questions I had about Resident Evil. Like, why does this virus keep coming back? Oh, it mutates.
A surprise would be Resident Evil Code Veronica.
That would be like a remaster of that, or you a remaster or a remake of it?
Remake.
A remake of it? Okay.
Yeah, remake.
So you want remakes? Okay. Now I think some people were saying they're going to announce studio purchases, which I don't think they're going to announce studio. I don't know. I don't think they are. I'm just saying. I know Google is going to more than likely buy WB. Because WB wants $4 billion for that.
Real quick. How do I say it?
Well, you sound fine.
You sound like you on a computer now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I sound sexy than a motherfucker, don't I?
Yeah. I guess you do.
I just had to go to the gym today, see if I could bench that 300 regularly. You know what I mean? Like,
did you clean
I can actually rep that shit, man. It's been a minute since I did the upper body. And that was like a quick upper body session, so I'm here now. But
you ain't gonna take a shower. You ain't gonna take a shower? Just gonna jump on.
Isn't Resident Evil 8 only next generation? Didn't they cut off last year?
Well, Push Square. Push Square did announce it doesn't look like Village is coming to the PS4.
Okay.
Find out
whenever that game releases, that will be the true factor of that people are going. The comparisons that we have of these cross-gen games, that ain't it, son.
Wait, you know Hitman cross-gen?
Yeah, it's cross-gen.
Yeah. I think it's even on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Hitman is on the Switch? Really?
This is coded for everything. Everything.
Now, it's gonna look like a PS2 game is what it's gonna look like.
Now another question is, isn't the native resolution for the Xbox One X version of Hitman 3 fucking 4K?
Yeah.
And isn't the native resolution for the PS4 Pro version of Hitman 3 1800p?
Possibly. I see where you're going with this. But
now, look, if people out there in the chat see where I'm going with this, feel free to look into it.
Well, now, wait a minute. The native resolution of Hitman 3 on the PlayStation Pro is 1800p. That's what you're saying. Which it is. What
he's saying is all they did was take the
scale up the current gen.
Yeah, they just scaled up the current gen of the consoles, kept the same resolution, and unlocked the frame rates.
Yeah, because look at how many. No, before you back them up on this link. There's how many SKUs are they fucking releasing? You have, goddamn man, you have like fucking
a lot.
Five SKUs just on the Xbox console side.
Yeah. 3
SKUs just on the PlayStation side. You have multiple PCs that you have to ensure that they're optimized for in terms of cards and CPUs, or just essentially making sure that it works right. When the Switch, Stadia uses a Vega 56 for their servers.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Well, then it ought to be fantastic.
Wait. I thought Stadia used NVIDIA.
I thought they were using. Are they using AMD as well?
Amazon's what's it called? Luna?
You might be thinking it backwards, bro, because the Amazon shit, Luna is probably using AMD.
No.
I'm sure I heard Stadia was using NVIDIA.
Stadia is using AMD. They're using Vega 56 parts.
Really?
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm on the PC, nigga. That was the first thing. Remember when Craig came out and J-Dub was out? 10.6 teraflops. AMD 10.6 teraflops.
By God.
Stadia. They about to wreck y'all.
Hey, we had to troll you all a little bit. It says Google Stadia uses custom AMD Vega 56 GCN 1.5 GPU. This is
man.
Yeah.
My memory is next to photographic when it comes to this type of shit. But Luna is in fact using a cross between the 2080s and the 2080 Ti's. Like they're using like both of them for Luna.
And Amazon's also
and considering it's Amazon, they're probably going to go over to the 3000 series here in a bit for their servers.
Oh, well, shit. Well, look, Amazon and Google are trying to buy WB. Now, Amazon may end up getting it because Amazon wants to put WB's movies on their Amazon Prime. So Sony is also trying to get it, but they would have to take money from not PlayStation division. They would have to take money from the main Sony division and get that studio, and then get the games over to PlayStation. So.
And I'm sure they would also want to talk to Disney about that because Sony's in bed with Disney.
Yeah, and they don't want to mess with Disney. Yeah.
I've seen stuff going online about the PlayStation X Marvel project, where Sony could be getting more IPs coming from more Marvel IPs coming.
Well, I do know they want to add more stuff to the Spider-Man universe for Spider-Man 2.
It won't be just Spider-Man, bro. I'm talking about Marvel universe, my nigga. Marvel.
Whatever Sony does, Sony need to acquire WB.
That's $4 billion. I don't think they're gonna get it.
You think they do?
Y'all crazy if y'all think Sony ain't got $4 billion.
No, Sony proper does.
What the hell is the perception that Sony's broke, man?
No, it's just the money would have to come.
Hold on. One more point.
All right, go ahead.
People are now saying that Sony needs to borrow money from, not Sony, but PlayStation needs to borrow money from their parent company in order to do business, but that don't coincide with the fact that y'all also said that Sony is only still around because of PlayStation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, how does that make sense?
Yeah, and Sony's main division.
You just said that though, Greg.
No,
literally.
No, I did not. I said they would have to.
If Sony wanted to purchase WB, they would have to get that from their other Sony division.
Because it's a movie television studio. So that's where the money would come out of.
It's not. They have a gaming division that's specifically for gaming.
But they would also co-op that into PlayStation.
But the movies aren't even up for grabs. Actually, the properties aren't even up for grabs.
WB is for No, WB is for sale. The whole thing is for sale. The game division did not appraise at $4 billion. The entire studio did. The WB's gaming division is not worth $4 billion.
I doubt that AT&T will sell that though.
I don't disagree with that, but they love.
I think it's best that Greg. I think it's best that it's best to stop pocket watching.
Oh, I don't pocket watch them. I follow movies.
I mean, look.
No, I follow movie studios.
PlayStation division has enough money to buy a fucking Square Enix if they want to.
I don't deny that.
And that's disposable income. Like that means that they can like here.
Look, I don't deny.
Here the fuck you go.
I don't deny that, but see, WB is a movie television division first. Then they also have a gaming division. So the money, if you're gonna buy the studios, you're gonna buy WB. You're gonna buy that money will come out of Sony's major parent, the major company, and it's not like they won't just take it and say, well, here's their games and give it to play. They would do that, but it's not like I'm pocket watching them saying they can't afford it. It's just here's where the money would come from. There's a difference in not having it versus where you go get the money from. Sometimes
the money that they make in services alone, for a single year would cover that cost.
Well, no, it's simple. It's not that hard. Some people go and bought a brand new Sony TV. And they took the money out of their savings account. Some other people took it out of checking. It still came out of your account. It just came out of it's still your money. It just came out of different accounts. That's all I'm saying. They could actually say this, but again,
a nice cleanup.
That's the truth. No, that's the truth. I mean, that's the way you
clean that shit up well, didn't it?
No, when Sony,
I'm wrong, but I'm right, but I'm
wrong.
No,
look, when Sony, Doug Nash was just talking about the Sony, the properties. That's actually coming from Disney. They have, and he's right. They have a deal with Sony. Now, but we'll have to wait and see who exactly they put in. I do know they want to add different people into the new Spider-Man 2 that Insomniac is working on. So that's just kind of common knowledge, but they haven't worked the deal out.
Spider-Man video game sold over 20 million.
But you still have to negotiate what you get. Yes, you have a giant pimp hand in that conversation. I agree with you.
And then Disney has the biggest pimp hand in all the land. My nigga.
I don't disagree with that, but Sony has the ability to go to them and say, look, this property sold 20 million units on our console. That's a giant pimp hand to keep it.
And if you pay attention to Emerald Khan, man, like I even thought about this whenever Corey Biowald was talking about like he's helping teams like to finish up God of War Ragnarok and they're set where they need to be, but now he's working on this sci-fi game.
Yeah.
And I was like, sci-fi game. And then I saw the stuff about the Lucasfilm stuff, or not the Lucas Games and stuff about them dispersing the properties in terms of the Star Wars universe all over the place, and Indiana Jones, of course. Now, I was like, damn, I wonder if he'd making a Star Wars game. Like, that would be insane. And he, on a podcast yesterday, brought that up, that, it could be a Star Wars game.
Well, it could be. And Patty Jenkins is making another Star Wars movie. So it could have a tie-in. I mean, yeah, there's a whole lot. They're not going to, if somebody, shout out to the First 48 Gaming, that Microsoft supposedly offered $4.5 billion to WB. No, once WB came out and said the appraisal is $4 billion, Microsoft walked. Okay? Doesn't mean they won't come back. Doesn't mean they still won't try to get them. But it just means that as of right now, after they spent over $6 billion for Bethesda. But see, they didn't just buy Bethesda; they bought everything. That's the way. That's my point. Yeah, that's my whole point. Is that they're not just going to buy one thing. If somebody buys WB, it's not just going to be WB Games. It's all going to go. They're not going to just. They're not. Not unless they can get their shareholders. This is why you negotiate to say we only want the gaming division. How much is that appraised for? That's going to appraise lower than $4 billion. So I mean, actually, that $4 billion was just for the gaming division. Yeah, it was just for the. Are you sure? Not just for the whole studio. So you're saying that their games are worth $4 billion?
Yeah, you could probably get Batman and Superman alone for $4 billion.
But how much?
You ain't getting the DC universe and all that other shit. Warner Brothers owns
Mortal Kombat.
Okay, but the DC universe isn't games.
You're just getting the studios. You're getting the peoples.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the DC universe is the movies. It has nothing to do with the games. There is no DCEU game. There's Batman games and there's villains, but there is no DC Universe game. That is the Warner Brothers main studio. That has nothing to do with the games. That is a totally separate division. It's like Lucasfilm. You just talked about Lucasfilm, Lucas Games. Lucasfilm is totally separate than Lucas Games, but they're all under Disney. But and if you were to sell Lucas Games, that would appraise at a different price than Lucasfilm, which is owned by Disney. So that's all I was saying is you got two different. You have companies, Sony and WB. They make movies, they make TV shows, and they also make games. And they're two different divisions. So just y'all have to look into that. So that's all I was saying. And I doubt WB's games division appraised at $4 billion. I will stand corrected though. I am happy to stand corrected. Somebody wants to send me something that says WB. The total studio purchase was $4 billion. Okay, and that's crazy money anyway. I mean that's insane. But look at what you're getting. Then you would get the DCEU. Wonder Woman 84 is bombing. Aquaman did make $1 billion. Batman is a mess with Robert Pattinson. I hope it works out. So, but their main money maker is Batman, and right now they're having trouble in the studios right now getting that together because Rob Pattinson, they said he's an SOB to work with. I don't know. That's just the reports that are coming out. But moving on. The final topic is that was it. Sony Surprise. So what exactly is Sony Surprise? I think it's going to be, I don't know, I'm just going to wait for the surprise.
Who said that there was going to be a surprise?
It's on some Twitter. It was on some Twitter. It was like Sony's main thing. It's like Sony's main thing.
So it was from Sony, or was it from PlayStation?
What I heard is from Sony.
It's from Sony. So I have to wait and see.
Okay, so if it was from Sony, it's probably going to be something about a Resident Evil movie then.
Oh no. Those movies are trash.
I mean, they are working on one. They are working on a new one.
That's true, but that movie was true. Those movies are trash. Who's watching those? I mean, who goes to the movie to see it?
This is a reboot, so I don't think it's associated with those others.
Oh, okay. Does it still have Milla Jovovich in it, or is she?
No, she's not in it.
Oh, she's not in it. Okay. Well, it could be a movie announcement there, because Sony doesn't own Resident Evil, but that would be funny if they.
I mean, they got a close partnership with Capcom.
They do.
I guess.
They do.
And
there's rumors
maybe
that they want
that's the
Capcom.
reason.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rumors that everybody wants to buy everybody, bruh.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I don't know.
Right,
To a certain
right.
extent,
Why does
either
everything-
this shit has to stop, or like it needs to be less players.
I agree.
Because if Google is buying studios, if Amazon is buying studios, Sony buying studios, Nintendo, you know, every once in a while they buy a studio, and Microsoft buying studios, bruh, everything is gonna be super fucking segregated.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm not gonna buy a whole studio just for everybody to experience those games. That shit don't make sense for nobody except for Microsoft somehow.
I don't
Yes.
disagree with that. Yeah, if I'm buying
Yes.
something, I want exclusivity, or at least timed exclusivity.
You need something to make it worthwhile for you and the
yeah.
people who are gonna buy your platform.
I agree.
I mean, that shit don't make no sense. Like Bethesda, I wholeheartedly would think that they would make Bethesda games exclusive, and it would make sense because if those people who are on the PlayStation want to fucking play Bethesda games, then guess what? Then they can buy a Microsoft platform to play those Bethesda games.
Yeah.
The games aren't,
Right.
you know, when you have exclusivity, it's not making those games unaccessible.
Yeah.
No, that's not what the fuck is happening. It's making you have to say, okay, if I really want to play these games, then I need to get the platform to play them on. Period.
Yeah, if I want
that's
to play Zelda, I gotta have a Nintendo platform.
Yeah, that's just what it is. So for you to play this game of, oh no, everybody should be able to play XYZ on whatever the fuck they want to play it on. Nah, that's not how that shit works. I didn't fucking buy this shit for that to be the outcome.
No, I don't disagree. Yeah, to me, when they bought it, I'm like, oh, well, that it should be exclusive, but the longer they wait to announce it, you know, they're not exclusive until they say so. Doesn't mean that they won't be, but yeah.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is whenever Sony comes out and says we have a few surprises, people's imaginations just run wild.
That's true too.
It's usually just best to just see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree. I don't disagree with you. I wish more people would wait. Like I wish more people would have waited for performance between Xbox and PlayStation. But they were talking about 12 heat flops and 52 CUs and VRR and VRS and HPG, whatever the hell this thing has. And now it's getting outperformed. At every corner it gets outperformed. So
now there is a rumor that Sony is looking to acquire more studios, but again, I don't really see how that's gonna make sense, right? And I'm not talking about financially. I'm just talking about with you handling the portfolio of all the shit that your studios are working on. I mean, maybe you should focus in on the studios you have versus going out and buying, you know, teams that you have to then build relationships with.
yeah. Well, the only 3 studios I've heard is Housemarque, which somebody on Reddit put, but I heard that months ago, Blue Point, and then possibly Kojima Studios is what I'm hearing. But that's to wait and see if any of that goes through. Blue Point makes the most sense because Sony went to them exclusively for those remasters of those games. Housemarque is a bunch of ex-Sony devs, so that makes some sense. And it did, the Reddit thing made a little sense, like Sony's waiting to see how Returnal does, you know, because this is Housemarque, I guess their big foray into AAA, and it's Kojima because it's Kojima. You know, he already has a good working relationship with Sony. So those.
But that doesn't make sense though, because Housemarque has been making games. You know what Housemarque's record is based on them making games for you ever since what Stardust, Super Stardust HD or some shit like that.
Yeah, it makes it, but it does in a sense if you want to bring them in, kind of into the fold. But again, I understand. I can see it both ways. I see it your way. Yeah, I can see them not wanting to buy them, but we'll have to wait and see what Returnal does. So again, this was I think on Reddit. So I hate saying this, but I have to say it. Take it with a grain of salt. I've been wanting to say that for years. Yeah, so according to them, and this person does have a decent track record, they just said that Sony is waiting on Returnal as far as the way it's received to possibly pull the trigger. But none of that may be true. None of that, baby.
Nah, I wouldn't listen to nobody saying shit about Sony.
Yeah, me either.
Because the people who work at Sony didn't even know what the fuck the PlayStation 5 looked like until we saw what it looked like.
Well, that's true. They did a very
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. You're right.
So where you getting your information from? Like that shit don't even make no sense.
Well, but Jim Ryan did say in multiple interviews that they are looking to expand the Sony umbrella. So I just think people, like Captain Thug Nasty said, that people just kind of went wild on possibly who they would buy. Which makes sense. I mean, to me, Kojima, I mean, my God, they gave him the Decima engine to improve it. He did. Everybody knows that, you know, so it does make sense to try to get that studio. Doesn't mean that they'll buy it. It just makes sense when you're just kind of looking at what they could purchase. Blue Point, Demon Souls, which I call Oblivion Part 3, it sold very well. It was very well received, so it makes sense to go after Blue Point. And they did that other remaster, didn't they? Not The Last Guardian, but
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, Shadow, which again very well received, you know, on the PlayStation. So it makes sense to go after that studio. So, but have to wait and see what they do. Somebody said, "Would I pay $70 for Returnal right now?" Yes. Yeah. Look, you can't sit up there and say you want Sony to keep bringing out big AAA games and then not pay for them. Okay, that's just the way. This is the way it works. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, you know, I used to be on an event coordinator team. When you try to go out and get talent to book them, they wanted a certain amount of money, and then you would have to charge X amount of, you know, who was coming to see them. So that's the way that works. So, and Sick made a very good point months ago. If you all are complaining about $70 games, you all got other problems. Because games based on inflation should cost $89. That's based on inflation. So, and again, just go and put some money down on it. That's what I did with Returnal. I put like $10 down on it. Like, I'm putting $10 down on Returnal. I put $10 down on Miles Morales. That's what I did. If I can do it, you can do it.
The only people who have that argument are the people who are indoctrinated into the Game Pass lifestyle.
Yeah, which I like Game Pass, but they got to get some.
The only people that make those have those arguments. Yep. Because asking if a game is worth $70 is saying, hey, are you only worth the $10 an hour you make?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just hope Returnal doesn't have puzzles, which it will.
I don't think it will, though.
If it does,
seems more like an action shoot-'em-up game.
Yeah.
I think it's more skill-based than like puzzle.
Yeah. Well, that's good for me. But again, when that PS-5, when they said they had that cheat code on there, I'm like, well, I don't know if it's active yet. But, you know, that's another thing they have to patch in. We know it's coming. But, yeah, as soon as we get that, then I'll be platinum all these games.
What are you talking about?
Oh, they got that thing where it tells you where some stuff is and how to do certain things.
That's already on the PlayStation.
Oh, it is? How do I activate that?
You got
just hit your PlayStation button on the controller, nigga, and the cars will be down there.
No, it doesn't. Mine's not there. I don't see it.
I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry.
No, I don't see it. You know. Yeah, I don't see it. So I mean, I see a bunch
they
of
have those
things
activity cards there, man. All you gotta do is hit the PlayStation button.
Well, yeah. So like,
but you remember, you got a long hold of the PlayStation button. That's the shit that takes you back to the dashboard, and then you have the short hold where you just
and that which
it just reverse things, man. Right, I know that 7 years muscle memory is.
Yeah, well, no, you're right about those holds though. And for you all who get the PS5, I couldn't even turn mine off because I didn't know you had to do a short hold, and I had to literally go online to turn it off to bring up that small dashboard at the bottom of the screen. If I do a long hold, it did something totally different. It went to a different screen, like a reset screen or something like that. So
just hit the power button on the console.
Yeah, but they say not to back. No, they have said, multiple people have said that you want to back yourself out of the PlayStation like you do your PC. How you shut down different things,
what?
You don't hard set. Yeah, that's what they said.
No. Yeah. Hitting the button it doesn't hard set the PlayStation. It just sends it into rest mode.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They don't send it in the rest mode. The people said that theirs was bricking. They said it was bricking.
Nah, that's bullshit.
Well, nah, that's what was on Facebook. It was on Facebook. It's real. That's real life.
Yeah. But I do kind of want to double back on what talking about earlier.
Hey, what's up, Tron?
Craig.
Craig, this on hold on, man. Can't just. That nigga said this on Facebook is real.
Yeah, you didn't read the book. All right, you didn't read the book. You didn't read the book, The Accidental Billionaires. That's what Sean Parker said.
People still use Facebook though.
Yeah,
I don't use Facebook. My family don't even use Facebook.
Yeah.
Then what do they use? Instagram. That's owned by Facebook.
It's the same shit as Facebook.
Yeah, it's owned
but we be in like WhatsApp group chats, and I think that shit is owned by Facebook too, if I'm not mistaken. But
what's that
I
other
don't
one y'all do?
any of that shit. I barely even tweet.
Whatever happened to Periscope?
The more social media sites that you inject yourself into and make profiles and shit like that for is just more opportunities for people to take your information and do whatever the fuck they want with it. Right?
Or they can just go to the source of where your data is stored and then just hack them, and then now they got the fucking information anyway.
Exactly, because like look, man, I'm going to school for cybersecurity, nigga. I mitigate as much social shit that I possibly can. Like I'm not even.
You getting your cyst?
Like, huh?
You getting your cyst?
Am I getting my cyst?
CIST. CIST.
Your credential. Your system.
Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Keep on.
Tron, you should jump into the chat, but I know it's like 8 o'clock out where you are. So I haven't talked to her in a while.
I haven't took my Security Plus what's it called, the test yet for that yet, man. I finished at the A+, but I haven't started my Security Plus or my Network Plus yet. That's coming next semester.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, is it
So I just never heard it called CIS.
It's a credential.
Man, you're gonna find out a lot of shit. I mean, you getting into the field, bro. So don't get me wrong. It's gonna all come. It's gonna all come to you, bro.
Word. I know, man. It's interesting as fuck. Like right now, I've just been like during my internship, they just had me working on laptops, which I know more about desktop than laptops, so I need the laptop experience to,
I mean, what about laptops do you need to get? Because generally speaking, laptops are the same as desktops, just a mobile version of it, and instead of having like removable
But it's nothing.
chips.
It's nothing that I've worked with though. You get what I'm saying? Like every time when we do these labs, we're always working on desktops, Dells, shit like that.
Trash. Anyway, you ain't never break down. You ain't never break down the laptop, bro.
No, until I started doing this internship.
You ain't never break down a laptop, bro.
Seriously, not since I've started this internship. Haven't broke down a single laptop, my nigga. Wait. Time out. One time we have.
Huh?
We have had one class where we broke down the laptop. But that laptop was looked like it was made it looked like it was made in the early 90s, my nigga. That motherfucker was big.
Yeah, it ain't nothing like the newer laptops. The newer laptops have a whole bunch of clips that hold them in. So basically, it's you just kind of popping, everything out of place. Usually, there's about maybe 3 or 4 screws holding in the keyboard, which is just like a flat fucking. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a flat fucking piece of board with a ribbon on it that connects to the motherboard. But for the most part, man, like until you get into like the gaming laptops. Like, they actually have gaming laptops where you can remove the GPUs in there and add different GPUs. People don't know that, but they do, especially in, like, those Alienware computers.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Trash.
Dell owns that. You know what I mean?
I heard those things aren't very good.
Gaming laptops. Laptops, they're easy to work on, but it's a lot of dumb shit that can go wrong with a laptop, especially when you're taking it apart. You may end up breaking that motherfucker when you're breaking it down. But then, at that point, you shouldn't be working on a laptop anyway.
Yeah, they don't look very... They're pretty easy to take apart. It only has like 8.
Not all. Go take a MacBook apart.
Well, the one... that's an Apple product. The Apple product should take itself apart. The Apple product should take itself apart. It's so expensive. I don't mind.
Man, listen. You have to have special training to work on Macs. Not if you just like a shade tree computer person. Nah. But if you really want to be backed by Apple, and you want to be backed by Apple because you have to get parts directly from Apple.
From them, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy game, but I don't know, bro. I've been doing this shit for years, bro. So that's the only reason why I have all of the knowledge on it. I could even show y'all pictures of my station. Y'all niggas gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? Nigga, I had like 5 laptops apart at once, nigga.
Oh.
And the thing is, nowadays though, it's kind of crazy because nowadays these laptops ain't worth fixing. It's gonna cost more to fix the bitch than to just buy a new one.
Yeah.
For the most part, all you want to do is back up your data. Back up your data and go just buy a new one.
And buy a new one.
Because you can definitely get it fixed. But shit, these motherboards gonna cost more than what the fucking computer costs to begin with.
Yeah.
Not all, but.
Well, the Asus motherboards are at least still affordable. I don't know about. I got an MSI motherboard now. It's okay. I mean, I don't mind it. I prefer the Asus motherboard. So.
Yeah, but desktops are a whole different beast altogether.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, desktops are a whole different beast. Like desktops is just a shell with parts in it.
Mm.
You can literally put together a PC without actually putting it into a case.
Oh.
I mean, you know, I wouldn't advise you do that. And usually you want to have some sort of a mount to make sure shit just don't fall apart. But you don't necessarily even need to have a shit in the case. I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, again, that's the tech world. That's the tech world. I mean, it's a whole different beast. I always say, if you're gonna get into anything, definitely get into information technology. It's definitely the more lucrative place, and you ain't never got to worry about being out of a job.
Yep.
Oh. Well, that is true. That is true. You can just have basic credentials, and you'll get jobs. You'll always be able to keep the lights on, so to speak.
That the medical field, medical IT is listen. Shit get real in medical IT, bro. Because now you're playing with people's lives.
Yeah, you're playing. Yeah, well, you're playing.
I'm serious, bro.
Well, no, you're playing. Yeah, with Medicare and Yeah, you're playing with government shit at that point. So yeah, that's big boy. So I'm trying to find a 2070 just to see how much it costs. Is it a 2070?
2070 costs not worth your time. Go get a 3060.
Okay, that means I have to find it. Let's see here.
Damn, those shits are sold out too. This shows you how long I haven't been looking for a video card. If the 3060 is sold out, that's fucking nuts.
Damn, it is still sold out. And that's Shop BLT. They usually, you can kind of go there and get stuff. Ooh, here's a graphics card that lights up. 3060 Ti, overclock dual fan, GDDR6, $850. Like, ooh, yeah. Now here's one for $557. How much is it supposed to cost? Didn't Jensen break one out that was only like $399 or $499, something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of the lower end cards.
Yeah, the 3060, right? You know.
I would imagine, yeah. I don't know, man. I still don't trust AMD cards like that, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, nigga.
Nah, but I've been telling people that from the beginning, man. Like,
I'll buy a system with an AMD card in it, but not about to start, nigga.
Nah, they overpromise, man, and they underdeliver, man. They CPUs are alright, they alright, but it's nothing special either. Not even from a CPU standpoint.
Well, here's a 6800 for $850. How much is that supposed? That's the one that's $799, isn't it, or $699?
Mhm.
Okay. So do they have a 6700 XT, or did they just not make that? Maybe it's the 68. I can't remember. Lisa Sue they've been out there just smashing NVIDIA. So, damn. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna have to get on off here. I'm gonna actually order my lunch and watch Tenet.
Before we close out your file, press 2 to be removed and put on our do not call it.
What is this?
Speak with someone about possibly.
Man, this that scam. Hey, can we speak to the car owner or some shit like that?
Oh, okay.
The insurance shit. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. I saw Tenet.
Oh, what'd you think?
How is it, man? I know that shit is good, dude.
Tenet is a wonderful movie.
There you go.
And you didn't have to watch it multiple times to get what was going on. You just had to pay attention the first.
But Christopher Nolan is just so goddamn good, though, man.
Yep. Listen, man, I don't know who the black dude was, but he reminded me of Toby and Wee-Wee.
Washington's son, man.
Yeah, but I don't know his name like that. I don't know.
James David Washington.
James David Washington.
Yeah.
My man looked like Toby and Wee-Wee.
Yeah, he did.
Don't know who that is?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's also in Black Klansman. That was James David Washington.
Oh, that was him?
James David Washington, Black Klansman. Yeah.
Yo, that dude looked like him. You know why? Because he kind of looked like, what's his name too, man? Not Childish Gambino. No, I think his name is Childish Gambino. You know, the
the Childish Gambino, he actually turned that role down. Nolan did ask him about that.
What, he turned down Tenet?
Yeah, turned it down.
He fit it.
Well,
he does. It looks exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look like dude, but he looks.
He could, trust me, they could make him look like
yeah, he could have pulled that off, but he just
did a lighter skinned version of him.
Yeah. But no, Tenet, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm like, man, this is love right here. You know, so
yo, I love the way they talk about how you can go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go into the other side or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then you got to put on these little oxygen things so that you can breathe because everything is going in reverse.
Yeah, your entropy is reversed.
Yeah, so I think that's completely fucking dope. But just the premise of the movie itself, man, like, god damn.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you think, man. It's one of those movies that make you think. Kind of like Matrix. You know, in the back of your mind, you like, low-key, this shit ain't never happening. But then you like, damn, but it possibly could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, what if they have some shit like that? Because believe you me, man, I feel like they got some alien technology or some shit where they can, tap into the next dimension and shit like that. I don't know, man. I read this book a long time ago. It was called The Boy Who Turned Himself Inside Out. And it was similar to Tenet, where he had this ability to travel through universes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. A lot of people don't read books, so.
Oh, no, that's true. But Tenet, they were just kind of borrowing more time. They weren't changing anything. They were just, they were just.
I wouldn't say they were borrowing it, nigga. They were literally going in reverse.
But again, they were from a certain point, but they were always coming back to that same point because what's happened has happened. They couldn't change it. So
now, they were just, you know what's weird to me, which I didn't understand this part, right? Mm-hmm. And this was the one part that I didn't understand. Remember when old girl went backwards, right?
Yeah,
she went backwards.
Elizabeth.
And yeah, the one that had the one where he shot her.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah. Uh huh.
She went backwards, but didn't require the mask. Now, the only thing that I thought about after that point was the fact that you could actually start. You could actually start going forward once you reach a certain period. So if you're moving backwards, once you get to where you want to be, then you could literally go into that little chamber and you could start moving forward again, and that's what she did.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of that nigga.
Yeah.
Because once he saw that scar, he was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, he knew what had happened, yeah. He also knew that they failed, so, Now, you're right about that. Yeah, that went by because they went back 7 days. A lot of people don't realize that. She went back to a certain point in time. Because remember, she told the protagonist, I saw a woman jumping off the boat. Yeah, so she went right back to that moment. She just changed it, and then she came right back. So nothing was different for her. It's just dude was gone. She didn't know where dude was, so that was it. So, that movie's good. I tell people, I said, you gotta understand there's like 3 versions of yourself. You have your future self, then you have the inverted future of yourself, then you have where you are in regular time. And then that battle, I tell people, that battle scene at the end with the troops going forward and backwards, that shit was crazy. It looked crazy.
These movies are so captivating.
Yeah.
And I don't use that often when describing a the director or whatever. Like, but Christopher Nolan's like those movies, they age so fucking well. Like I can still go back and watch Inception or Interstellar.
Yeah.
Or hell, even Batman: Dark Knight.
Yeah, the Dark Knight series. Yeah. Yeah. All under WB, by the way. Nolan is WB's guy. He's their, he's their go-to guy. He's their Spielberg. Is what I tell people.
Even that World War II film that he made was.
Oh yeah, outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as 1917, the World War I movie that won Best Cinematography Award. I still don't know how they got those shots. I mean, to this day, I will never know how they got shots in that movie for 1917. If you watch that, or you can say the dialogue's trash, perfectly fine. Just watch that movie. The cinematography is phenomenal.
It's because with regards to the dialogue, they try to do what Christopher Nolan did with what's it called, Midway.
Yeah.
There was very few dialogue was it was mainly emotion.
Yeah.
And like from the word go, that movie just puts a tense like that sense of urgency into the watcher, to the viewer.
Yeah.
That has not been, like, nobody else has been able to repeat that.
No.
In my personal opinion. No. Because right when they're walking on the streets of, Germany, and you see the propaganda posters flying around and everything, and all of a sudden they're getting shot at, and then it literally, like, from the word go, nigga, the shit hits the fucking fan.
Yeah.
And there's 3 different stories being told at the same goddamn time in this same scenario of where these troops are trying to get the fuck out of off that beach, man.
Yeah.
And it's goddamn, like, that movie is just, I fucking love it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't know he was the one that worked on Inception, but I literally got Inception vibes when I fucking started watching the movie. Like,
there were theories going around that was saying that Tenet was going to be a sequel to Inception.
Well, it could have been, the way they did it, but the Tenet, this people from the future sending things back so that certain people would find them, and that is something else. Dark cities, which do exist. The fact that what happened has already happened, and you're in an infinite loop, so that everything remains the same. Outside looking in, there's a whole lot going on there. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sick, because most people are having a lot of trouble following that movie because they're looking at things linearly, cause and effect, and that scientist clearly tells you cause and effect doesn't matter anymore. You just have to, it's already happened. You just have to do what you need to do. So, it was, I love it. But I'm going to jump off here, guys. It's noon Eastern time. I'm going to get me something to eat and actually watch Tenet and charge these headsets. So, I can do my review on the headsets tonight. But I appreciate you all coming on.
I'm going to start watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when I get off there.
That shit was good, too. That was good, too.
You work today, that Nasty?
Yeah, I got maybe an hour and a half before I gotta go to work.
Oh, this nigga got a few minutes to go and actually watch this movie. He ain't gonna watch the movie though.
Hell no, I don't get it. Like the whole. I still gotta take a shower, make my lunch, and all that shit. Yeah.
Facts. All right, y'all. I'm out.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all. Alrighty, so we're gonna bounce on out of this one here. There we go. And so that's the end of that one. All right, so here we go. All right, guys. Shout out to everybody that came by. I see you, Corey Massey and Tron, and everybody that shout out to the super chat donors. Yeah, so I don't think the Booty Warrior activated, so I have to look into what's going on with that. So talking about Game Pass. Yeah, again, if you're complaining about $70 games and you got other problems, I don't know what else to say about it anymore. I don't make a big deal about it. Just I know me when Returnal, when they announced it was coming out and they gave us the street date of March, I went to my local Target, and whether you have to put it on a gift card or the GameStop card is actually good. You can just go in there and say, I want to put $5 on this card or $10, and then next thing you know, you put $10 on it, and then you're only paying $59 or whatever. So, but all right, guys, that is it. I am going to bounce on up out of here. I do appreciate everybody coming by. And yeah, the PlayStation thing is today with Resident Evil. My understanding of that is the gameplay that you see is going to be on the PlayStation 5. Have to wait and see if that's confirmed or not. Somebody just tweeted that to me. So we'll definitely have to watch and see what that's going to look like. And everybody have a good rest of the day and enjoy. And like I said, play the games, people, and enjoy it. Peace out.